So everybody, Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1 has been released. Most people haven't gotten a chance to watch it, so I want to share my thoughts on it. I think this show is good. I think it's always been good. A lot of the criticism of it are people that just don't want to like what's really, really popular. People who just want to have a grudge against the most popular thing. You see that type of thing pop up all the time with anime. You see it with popular film, the Marvel stuff. Currently, I think the DC stuff, like there's going to be a segment of people who always hate on what's popular. And so I save my criticism of the show, unless I'm really, really not satisfied with something. I think it's executed well. I think it's written well. I think it always has been. One criticism of it, I would say that, doing the 80s has run its course. I think that so many people have jumped into the pool that Stranger Things, one of the original super popular franchises that made that 80s nostalgia like really popular, has now just become a participant in the fad of doing the 80s. And so it's kind of weird that they're one of the originators of doing it and making it popular. But now at this point, it no longer feels really, really unique. It's something that people just do. And so hopefully, it doesn't really affect how they land the plane of the show. I think that they still do it well. It just doesn't feel as unique because it's been done so many times around pop culture. And with that being said, I'm not going to have a whole lot of criticisms and critiques of the show, but there are some ideas around the show that I did want to talk about, some conversations that I kind of want to throw my 2 cents into. And one of them, the biggest one, is the ages of the cast members. A lot of people talk about how the cast looks so old now. And these are people, in my opinion, you just can't spend that much time around teens. I've been a teacher for 16 years. I've had students that are age appropriate, but with full 5 o'clock shadows, like people who look much older than they are. I currently, at the school that I teach at, have an 8th grader who looks incredibly old, but he's the right age. He has never failed, and he's just huge. He's my height, he's my weight, and then he's bearded. He has to shave. It's a weird thing that happens. These are anomalies, but if I've been around kids for that amount of time, so they don't feel that off to me. When I look at the show, I pulled up this list of ages versus character ages. You can pause, take a look at it. But when I talk about the ages, the only people who feel off to me are 11 and Will, Noah Schnapp and Millie Bobby Brown. For some reason, those 2 characters, something about them are affecting how I see them as opposed to everybody else. Everyone else feels age appropriate to me. Dustin Henderson, that character and the actor, they feel like they are 17, 18 years old. Finn Wolfhard, you tell me that he's a 16 to 18-year-old kid, I would believe you. I would think, wow, he's tall and he's lanky, but he looks right for a 16 to 18-year-old. Even Lucas, people have made a lot of talk about Lucas, and the wig and the hair design looks so much different from season 4 to season 5. Understandable. That's true. No defense there. To say that he doesn't look right, like, nah, Caleb McLaughlin looks right as a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid. He just looks like a kid who's matured and he's about ready to finish high school. 17 years old, making 18 years old. That's what he looks like to me. I'm sure if they did his makeup different, if they let his facial hair grow in, you can make him look 22, 23, mid 20s at the most. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel off to me. I think people like to make a big deal out of it because they've aged as well as the show aging. It's weird. When the first season of Stranger Things came out, I had one child and she was a newborn. And now we're at a point where she's 11 and making 12 years old this coming spring. And it's like, my life has changed quite significantly. I've grown quite a bit older. But to say just because I've grown so much older, the characters have grown older, and now it's weird for me to see them in those roles. Nah, not really. They still look just about right to me. What's really strange to me is that the older characters, the people who are in their 30s, like Joe Carey and the girl who plays Nancy, like she's 30. That's really weird to me because she also looks very age appropriate to me. You tell me that she's like 20, 21, I believe you, but she's 30. And that's the weirder part, that those older characters that are in their early 30s, those cast members still look like early 20s. And that's cool. No big deal. Nobody really looks off to me besides Noah Schnapp and Millie Bobby Brown. The other conversation that I wanted to participate in is these Netflix releases. Like when they release things on Netflix, either they do them in chunks, like with Wednesday, they released a 4-part, part one of season 2, and then a part 2 of season 2. They're doing the same thing with Stranger Things this season. It's a volume 1, volume 2, and then the actual finale, I believe, is New Year's. And so that's cool that they're releasing it that way. Some people still advocate for the weekly releases so you could have like the theorizing from week to week. And I'll say this, the theories that I'm seeing being floated out there, nonsensical. It makes me like cringe a bit at some of the things that people are throwing out there as theories. Like, are you even watching the show? There are so many things that people just like kick out there and say like, oh, what about this? Look at this. The relationship stuff. It tells me that people don't know how to read characters, specifically women. Like some people saw an interaction between Steve Harrington and Nancy and thought like, oh, she's slightly into Steve again, and she's shifting back towards Steve. Like, nah, y'all can't pick up what annoyance looks like. That's weird that y'all can't pick up what annoyance looks like in a young lady. More than that, I think people are just theorizing to theorize because they've already told us that a lot of stuff is going to be explained. So people are just saying things for the sake of saying things, and I feel like that's kind of weird. I'm quite satisfied with the release and the way things are going to be released. And I'm cool whether they did a weekly or a whole binge setup. It's all good. It makes perfect sense to do it around the dates that they chose to do it around. And more importantly, I'm just happy that the show is finally coming to a proper close. I know that they've already confirmed that they have a spinoff that they're trying to do. And unless it's incredibly amazing, I'm not going to be in on it. I think that they've juiced this universe for as much as they can juice it for. They have merch. They have 5 successful seasons. They have launched the careers of several people. They have reinvigorated, I believe, David Harbour, Winona Ryder, like reinvigorated due to this series. Like, that's all good. I don't need anything else that y'all can bring me unless it's truly amazing. If it's more Upside Down, if it's more Vecna, if it's more of this weird stuff, I don't know if I'm going to be in unless it's truly amazing from the opening and continuing forward. So let me know your thoughts on the possible spinoffs, and let me know your thoughts on the ages, the theories, and all the different things that people are throwing out and complaining about. Let me know any of those thoughts that you might have in the comment section. And that's all we have for this one, y'all. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.